kids these days.
It's ADD.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Not Table Talk here at Nutrex.
We're still trying to figure that name out.
Still trying to figure
Jeff
that name
and I
out.
went with Trend Talk.
Maybe probably
Jeff,
not.
Maybe Jeff and I do it.
Maybe when you and
Trend
Jeff
Talk.
do it,
Yeah.
when we do it, it's two nuts and an S. Beverly.
Where
Where are we going with this? All right. Anyways,
man.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. With me is our athlete coordinator and just young overall stud, Liam.
Hey.
And also his head Wendigo of business development in North America, Lee Probst. And then me, I'm the talent here. My name's Shawn. Today we're going to be talking about working out. Everybody here works out.
Yeah.
Some more than others. It's obvious. I mean, we know who that one person is, right, Liam? We know who that one person is that doesn't train as hard or as heavy as some of the other of us. I wouldn't name any names.
No.
But we know who that person is.
Yeah.
But what I just wanted to talk about working out, and I'm going to start with the elder statesman, and you can throw yourself in here when we do it. Basically, Lee.
Oh man.
I want to know, when did you start working out?
Man, this is great when we do things on the fly like this. This is good. So this is good. This is good stuff. So that is great question. So I'll tell a long story. We'll go back a little ways. So get ready. Get the signal ready. Man, why I started working out? I actually, the furthest memory that it goes back to, other than just like your old school physical, the physical fitness, the Arnold Schwarzenegger physical fitness that we were all under back in the 80s with Reagan and all that, right? Was
the president's fitness test, right?
It was something like that, yeah. So there was that, and there's the challenge. I certainly harken back to that. But when I first got like my first weight bench and all of that, was I had broken my arm playing basketball. I was like 12 years old, and a cousin of mine who was about 10 years older than me, he had just gotten like a new weight set, and I was rehabbing from the broken arm, and he gave me his weight set, and
his old one,
old weight set. Yeah, so he gave me his old weight set, his full bench, curl bar, tricep bar, just set me up, and then set me kind of on a program, to start working out. Like gave me some workout tips and all that, and then from there, put me on that path of muscular development, muscle and fitness, and all the magazines that were out at that time, and that's what really got me into it. And then it was realizing that the more that I worked out, the better that I was in sports that I was playing, and so that was like, I think I was like 12 years old or something like that, and then you kind of fast forward into that late, or getting out of like middle school and all that, and then getting into high school and wanting to be bigger, stronger, faster, and getting into that. So that's literally how I got into it.
Yeah. Did you ever use that weight set? I'm sorry. Never.
Once or twice. Let's
move on.
I'm gonna have to go into some pictures. I gotta find some pictures.
Let's move on to Liam. Liam's a lot younger than Lee.
25.
Yeah, by like almost 20 years.
Yeah, you're turning 20. You're turning 45, right?
45.
So
20 years.
When did you start working out?
I started training when I was 15. I got dumped in 10th grade, and then
there you go.
You got that revenge motivation.
I did it before TikTok made it popular. So, because that's all TikTok is now, is guys talking about getting dumped and then using that for motivation.
I've seen the videos.
That's all it is. 15, Jeff, who is the customer service manager, we grew up together, so we started going together on Saturdays, and then it became an everyday thing, and now it's 10 years later, and we still train together every day.
What did she dump you for a physical reason, or did she just dump you?
No, I just played sports. I was normal body type athletic kid.
And you weren't, and you weren't giving her the time.
Very unrelated. It was very unrelated.
Very
it has
unrelated.
Nothing to do with the gym. I don't remember.
You don't remember? Yes, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Everybody remembers. Yes, you do.
Of course I do.
Back around it.
Of course I do. But I started training almost every day with Jeff, and 10 years later, here we are.
There you are.
we're both doing a show in 14 weeks.
That's awesome.
So
that's awesome.
There we go.
I started training. I can remember actually, like, I saw Conan the Barbarian on cable when I was, 7 or 8 years old, something like that. And I remember going, holy cow, that looks rad. And I was like, but you're 7 or 8 years old. My stepdad had a weight set that he'd never used, but it always sat on our porch. It was just a straight bar with the weights filled with sand. And I used to play around with them after every like Rocky movie would come out. Rocky 3, I'd start playing around with them, and then I'd put them away. And then Rocky 4 would come out, and I'd start playing with them, and then I'd put them away. I used to put on the Rocky 4 soundtrack and do like curls and benches and rows and stuff like that. I was like 12 or something like that. And then, but it wasn't until high school that I really took training seriously.
Yeah.
I played football, and obviously the first thing they test is your strength. And, right out the gate, like literally right out the gate, I was probably around, 220, 225, and I never benched a day in my life, but I benched like 250 that day, and I was just like, all right, I guess this is what I'll be doing from here on out. And that's what it was. And I always wanted to be like, Arnold was always like my role model as far as like what I saw as like the peak of physical aesthetics, but like I did not have those same genetics.
Well, that's where those extra motivations, like the Rocky movies and all that. I remember going out running and then coming back and hitting the weights after watching Rocky 4 and things like that. But
Drago.
And then you had the action sports, or not action sports, but the action movie guys of Arnold and Stallone and everything, and that was always a big motivator. That
who would you say was your role model as far as that was concerned?
Man, I mean, I
Arnold and Predator is like iconic.
I was actually like going to say that because it was like that was we were talking about movies the other day, like the weekend movies and stuff that we were watching, and there was definitely Arnold and Predator, watching that, and Stallone as Rambo. I think both of those, it's like both of those kind of blend together for me as the motivation. And then I was always into the martial arts though too, so it was like Bruce Lee,
the whole
exactly, and
the Cobra and Al,
man, and I had growing up, some of my friends that I grew up with and everything, and like that Enter the Dragon and Bolo Young and all that, the guys wanted to be as big as him, and like it was like, how can we get that big and everything. And then you had I grew up in that Van Damme era and all that, and you wanted to be shredded like that. You
wanted to be muscled but shredded.
Yeah.
Who did you follow? Who was like
when I started? That was the Phil Heath, like Kai Green rivalry era. It was after the Ronnie thing. Right at the height of like Phil versus Kai.
So for you, it's always been about bodybuilders, like literal bodybuilders.
Yeah, no movies or anything got it going. Just started showing up more. And then just, got more and more into the sport, and that was it. YouTube videos. It was before, like, because in high school, I started as, like, a twig. I was, like, 150 pounds, nothing special. But once I started going, it was before it was, like, popular, really, like, a thing high schoolers do. Because nowadays, you go on TikTok for 5 seconds, you'll find a 16-year-old pulling 600. It's, it's a lot more casual.
Right.
But in the beginning, myself or, like, a couple buddies or whatever, like, they were really the only people doing it in high school. And I was still, 160 pounds. I was nothing.
Yeah.
But,
did the rumors start?
It's always just been bodybuilding. Huh?
Did the rumors start in high school? Oh, those guys are on steroids.
Yeah. Skinny, skinny as shit, nothing. But so it's always just been bodybuilding.
Yeah, see, it's interesting how the different eras here, because we're Gen X, so it's like bodybuilding was a thing, but it was not as
mainstream.
And I don't think it's mainstream now. It's really not.
It's getting better with Bumstead. He's like. That's it now. But because I actually interesting. I went on his page, and then Drake, the artist.
Yeah.
They get the same amount of likes and like engagement, and that's
crazy.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was just so different. Like we talked about it. We were talking about it with Jens the other day. like what used to get me going, you know, on the weekends, like you had ESPN had these, you know, they would have the bodybuilding shows and all that, and then they would have like actual, you know, competition shows. But then they had, it was like training with Tiana, and then there was another one with like the Body by Jade guy and stuff like that. And so I'm watching those things on like Saturday mornings and getting tips about how to work out, and then, you know, going over to the weight set after that. But it was much more magazine heavy. Like as opposed to,
we didn't have the internet.
We didn't have the internet like that. Yeah, like
you've never not known the internet.
Right. Yeah.
So we actually talked about that a little bit.
Yeah,
today,
a little bit. Yeah.
This morning, he's like, I lived in a time before email. He's like, what?
Yeah. But like even when I started, it still wasn't like that popular on social media. Well, I mean, there was like no social media, but like YouTube, there were some videos, but it's not what it is today.
Yeah.
And that was only 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like the social media has destroyed the psyche of people worldwide.
Oh, yeah.
Because you open it, you see these people who are 24 years Austin.
Oh yeah, we signed Austin. Austin's
a new Nutrex athlete. This kid's 24 years old.
Insane.
Looks like he was built in a lab.
Yeah.
And it's like, give me a break, dude.
Yeah.
Give me a kid. Yeah. That's not fair.
Right.
I'm 10 years deep, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But you know what? Here's the thing. You don't know how long he's been training. You know, he could have started at the same time you did,
right,
and just has a little bit better genetics.
Yeah.
That could, that kind of thing happens.
Well, there's definitely, you had, to your point, you have so many more kids really getting into it. Like when I was growing up.
And the knowledge is there too.
And the knowledge, yeah. It's just so much easily, more accessible, let me say it like that, as far as the knowledge, the training tips and things like that. Like we were working out and we thought we knew what we were doing, but there was always like one or two guys that knew that much more, like I have memories of guys that were my age that were like I couldn't believe how much muscle that they were putting on and what they were doing. And then you had us that were just kind of hacks, and now it's really turned, you got the guys that would have been like me that are so deep into it. They've got all, the playing field is much more level, all of that, where because of the information, how many people you actually have working out, which is a great thing, like, in the sense of working out body, and bodybuilding and all of that. Like it's a great thing to see, but it surely is different, than what I experienced growing up, in my teenage years.
Even from when I started when I was
like it's kind of expanded exponentially as far as that's concerned.
Yeah. Well, and then here's something that I think is an eternal question when it comes to working out. What do you find? What is more important to you? The strength, the overall vitality aspect, or the aesthetics?
To me, it's more strength now. I mean, I went through phases of the aesthetics, for sure. And I think everybody goes through different phases of, and certainly bulking and all of that. But I think there was a time where I certainly cared more about the aesthetics than I did the strength. For me personally, where I'm at right now is functionality more than and longevity, and what can I do to make sure that I'm training the best and giving my body the best chance for success over the long haul. So that's where I'm at personally.
A lot of old people have that.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Whatever. Man. Shawn just turned 50, by the way, guys.
Why you gotta put me on blast?
We're gonna put that.
Put me out there on Front Street like that.
That's it. Tip for tap.
What about Liam? I mean, yes, you are a bodybuilder, right? So aesthetics are important. But what do you like? Do you think that's the most important aspect?
I'm right in the middle, so I still put an emphasis on strength. So like a couple movements, it's really just like lower. It's like powerlifting training, low weight, high reps. Now that I'm focused on the show, aesthetics is gonna take more of a priority. But like I'm looking forward to the off season where I can easily throw more weight back on and just get back into that, because I like having a good balance.
Now this is going to be your first show.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you nervous or are you excited?
Both. I don't know who's like. I wouldn't pull up the competition. I don't want to see who's going up. I'll show up and do that. I don't nervous in the sense just like stage presence. I get stage shy, so I don't really want to stand in front of people in boxers and do that. But hopeful that I look good enough where like I can just shrug it off and I don't care.
But what division are you?
I'll do classic. I have small
yeah.
legs, so I'll do classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hang with the
So you still got to get the trunks and all that.
Yeah, still in trunks, but not like the Speedo. I'll try to get like the more like
the old school,
like boxers kind of.
Yeah.
There's some that are like a little past like mid quad, maybe like a little higher than mid quad.
You need to get those like old school like
Speedo.
the Speedo, but not like the Speedo that like body like the long like Franco Columbu's Speedo.
Yeah, something like that. Totally.
Yeah,
something like that.
You got a color preference?
I think just black. I think I don't know if that's they have to, but I feel like I only ever see black for classic.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
That's interesting.
I know open you can wear whatever.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It seems like it's a
continuity.
Well, here's the thing. It's subjective. So I don't, and it's an art. So I don't think I don't think they should limit. I don't think any art should be limited. But it's like I think. My whole thing is if you go up there and you feel like you look good, you feel good.
Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping for. Like I'm still 14 weeks out, but I've been prepping for 4 or 5 months already. So like I'm ahead of schedule. So the plan is like get me ready early and then coast into it. So I'm not like stressing it or anything.
What weight do you plan on hitting stage at?
My cap is like I'm 6'1", so my cap's like 210 or 212, but I'm gonna be way under. I'll be like maybe mid 190s, 200. Depends how I fill out. But,
and where did you start at?
My heaviest I've ever been was like 247 in this phase, but I started my cut definitively at like 233, and now I woke up today at 201.6.
Wow.
So, but I've been showing in the low 200s for the last like 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, so you're almost there.
Yeah, I'm looking alright. I just gotta shred like 10 more pounds, and I'll be conditioned.
Yeah, that's gonna be again.
That'll be it.
That's just really cardio and
low carbs right now, like 50 grams a day. So
you don't seem like you're in a bad mood.
All right.
Most people I know that do that whole low carb like preparation thing,
it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, dude. But what do you plan on using as your crutch? EAAs, BCAAs?
Oh yeah, man. Anabol PM, EAAs. Make some slushies with the EAAs. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as like so for me, it's never been about aesthetics.
There we go.
If you look at like again, I had my football coach made fun of you if you did biceps.
Oh. It died. I don't know when it died.
Guess we're done. There we go. All right, so we were rolling. There might be some technical difficulties. If so, whatever. This ain't perfect. We ain't perfect.
So this is episode what 3? Well, 2-ish.
2.5. We'll see what happens with
me and Jeff.
You and Jeff.
I can't see the light of day.
I wanted to end this really with. I was talking about. We were talking about strength or aesthetics, and how aesthetics obviously has never been something I've been interested in. I had a football coach that would make fun of you for doing biceps. He'd tell you, why are you doing beach muscles?
Yeah.
Why are you working out beach muscles? You're a football player. Why are you working out beach muscles? So I didn't start working biceps until I was 30. So not that I think I have tiny arms, but my arms could be a lot bigger had I started, I started working out.
Right.
They're 15 years behind everything else on me. But it's always been about the go and not the show. Everything I've done in my life has been about performance. Stronger for performance, stronger for football, stronger for pro wrestling, stronger for jiu-jitsu. Being able to to go and have some kind of muscular endurance as well, because a lot of people don't think about that. A lot of people just think, I'm just going to lift, I'll do 8 to 10 and boom. But it's like, I started incorporating in, large, like 20 rep, 25 rep sets, just so I could keep it going, and build up that muscular endurance. Though I do wish some aesthetics came with that. It'd be nice to look good as well as perform. But, I wasn't blessed with those genetics. I can put on strength and size like a, you know, like I don't know if I told you this, but like when I first got to UCF, I was like, my body, like I couldn't get above 250. Just everything I was doing, I was like 250, 255 was my natural weight, and I was, you know, I was in good shape, you know, but they were like, you're too light for your position. I was defensive line, played interior lineman. I wasn't an outside guy. I was inside. I'm 6'1". I'm not that tall. So they wanted me heavier. They go, you need to be at least 300 pounds. So over the next 3 months, I put on 50 pounds, actually 60 pounds. I went from 250 to 310. And I did that eating 3 meals. 3 of the meals that I was provided with as a football player.
Yeah, as an athlete.
And then a 4th meal, I would ride my bike to the McDonald's that's right across the street from UCF. I would buy 8 hamburgers and eat those with an 1,100 calorie weight gainer shake.
Nice.
Wow. Nice.
And I
remember mass gainers.
Yeah.
I forgot that was a thing. Yeah.
And I went from 250 to 310 in about 3 months.
It's crazy. It's wild.
So
You must have felt like shit.
you know what though? I was young though. I was 18. I did not feel like it didn't affect me that much. My even my clothes didn't really change that much. Like I was a 36 waist, and like I just, instead of like easily buttoning my pants, I had to like there was a little bit of a little bit of a resistance. So I was fine with that. But then after that, I started working. After I got kicked off the team, I started working at a bungee jump. And so and the max you could weigh was 220. So I went from 310 down to 220 in about 4 months. And then I started pro wrestling and put the weight back on. So I've done this with my metabolism. So right now my body likes to stay at about 295 regardless of what I do.
Right.
But I want to retrain it to get down to 250, which kind of brings me to the closing. What I wanted to close with is, what is your long-term goals as far as this is concerned? Like, how long do you plan on working out? How long do you plan on keeping, lifting a part of your life?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You want me to go?
Yeah,
all right.
sure.
I mean, forever. I mean, it's honestly, I know. Yeah, it's a joke. I am not a bodybuilder. That's fine. I've gone through my phases.
Just in case you guys were wondering at home,
I'm not a bodybuilder.
I know it's hard to tell from the camera angle.
I got a good angle. We got the good angle on me on this one. Thank you for that.
I'm getting out angled.
I'm now angling you, but you're covered up right now.
That's
so, honestly, man, fitness has been a part of my life literally since I was like 12 years old. Like it's always been there, as far as fitness, working out, and weights. Like I had some changes. Probably back in, this goes back to like around like 2015-ish is when I really changed some things, went more the calisthenics route and all of that. But I realized that there was something about the iron that I really liked, and there was something that you couldn't totally duplicate with just calisthenics. And so for me, it's so ingrained in who I am that I'm always going to be working out. I'm always going to have there's always going to be some type of workout fitness, routine as a part of my life, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Liam, what about you?
I haven't thought about it much. I mean, the longevity for bodybuilding is usually like mid-40s, late 40s.
Like that's competition. You're thinking competition-wise.
Peak-wise, you'll start fading probably like mid-40s, or like even early 40s. I plan to stay active, past that. I don't picture myself on the Olympic stage. I don't think, I'll end up there or anything like that. But no, keep this route going till at least then. Stay fit, healthy. At this point, it's just what I do at this point. But it's not really so much it's a hobby, it's a lifestyle, but it's also like a chore. Like I have to do it because if I go, 2 days without going to the gym, like I'll get a little antsy, a little, testy. Because it's discipline over motivation at this point. Because I really only enjoy 2 days a week maybe training. Because if I'm going for a PR, maybe I'm looking a little better one day or something like that. Then I'm motivated. Yeah, hell yeah. But I have to show up, whether or not I want to.
I remember those PR days.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's not something I have to worry about anymore.
Yeah, I'm excited to bulk. So.
Yeah. as far as I'm concerned, I want to be able to get down on the ground and get off the ground every single day of my life.
Yeah.
So I make sure to do that every single day.
There you go.
And I'm with jiu-jitsu, at being an active jiu-jitsu athlete, even at the it's something that I've always been on the upper end of the athletes, even though I was always a little fluffy. I was always one of the top athletes in my whatever sport I played, and I want to be able to have the life that is healthy and active as I age even deeper, as I get even deeper into the golden years.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that 80-year-old that's just sitting in a chair.
No.
I want to be that 80-year-old that's like, hey, let's go to this national park and walk around for 18 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I don't want to be the guy that sits in the chair.
No.
And that is my ultimate goal, is never to be that guy.
Yeah. I'm surfing every day at 80. That's what we're doing. Every day. The only way to do that is to stay fit.
And look, I truly believe this. I truly believe, and it doesn't take a lot to see it, I truly believe that movement is the key to life. When you see people retired, that's when they tend to die. And it's not the lack of, well, it is. It's the lack of something to do every day that makes you more and more sedentary. And there's no reason for it. There should always be some kind of a goal, some kind of a just something driving you to get out of bed every morning. So I never plan on retiring. I can do what I do till the day I die, as long as I keep my mind sharp enough. And even when my mind starts dulling, I can still pretend I'm writing something.
Well, now you got ChatGPT.
Yeah, whatever,
or whatever's
Who
next.
knows? Yeah, 10
whatever's
years from now.
next.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
And the one thing, and something we talked about in our last podcast, the older you get, I think the more important supplementing becomes. Filling in those cracks that you cannot get from nutrition, filling in those cracks that will keep those cells active longer.
Yeah, true that.
So
well, it's good, man.
Yeah.
Well,
that's that's what I think we all should be aiming for.
Absolutely.
Is being able to live as actively and as healthy as possible, going as long as possible.
That's it. Amen to that.
So if this sounds like something you want to do, then keep listening, guys, and do us a favor, like the video, share the video if you can, subscribe, comment on the video. We haven't gotten any comments yet.
Yeah,
so
well, they're just getting out
I don't
there.
care if you call me, hey, shut up, wrinklehead, or whatever.
Everything's just getting out there.
Yeah,
So it's all good.
Comment on the video, do all that good stuff, and we'll keep making these things, and hopefully you guys keep watching them.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, everybody.
All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Liam.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Later.